Things you envy about girls. Story 1. They're often the little spoon. I'm 62 and a solid 90 kilograms. I remember the first time I was the little spoon. I was dozing in the afternoon. My much shorter, much lighter girlfriend crawled onto the bed, snuggled into my back, put her arms around me and squeezed me tight. She kissed my neck and then put her head down on the same pillow and started drifting off to sleep. Now this might sound weird, but at that time in my life, no one had held me like that before. Not that I could remember anyway. I had this sudden rush of emotion. My eyes welled up and everything. I felt warm all over, and I couldn't remember another time where I felt so protected and cared for. Felt amazing. I wish I was held like that more, and I'm envious of women because they get that experience more often, I think. Story 2. Agreed, it gets really annoying always being expected to make the first move. Had a girl ask me out once, which was a nice welcome surprise. It felt good to not always have to be the one to ask. Also really liked she felt comfortable asking. Why is it that men are still expected to always be taking the lead in relationships? It seems like some gender roles, norms have been shifting somewhat, but this one doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. As a woman, is there a stigma if you're the one pursuing a guy? Story 3. With disdain, resentment though, you're missing that part. I feel like when dudes look at chest they usually think, oh damn, chest? That's freaking dope. How can I get physically involved with those? But when you have chest, like a lot of people that have them, you think, wow, they look like crap. Maybe I should get them fixed. But wait, no, then they look fake and scarred so everybody would be able to tell. Plus I hear fake chest age badly, so my partner would get more and more disappointed every year that goes by. But my partner would probably not like them now, so maybe I should get them restructured. How expensive is this? Is it crappy to want to change it though? Does that just mean I'm so insecure that I can't be natural? Does getting fixed up say something worse about me, so I should just keep crappy chest? I wish I was different. I wish everything about these were different. Story 4. The problem with this question is it can be based off of stereotypes and deep misunderstanding of what it's actually like to be the opposite gender. Like as a guy, I used to feel very jealous of the perception that women did not have to work for dates and intercourse, because as we all know, it's on the guy to pursue and the girl to be pursued. The problem with this cliche is that an incredibly large amount of the surplus attention women receive from men that men don't receive from women is unwanted harassment. I have seen some women get a lot of intercourse apparently easily, and I assumed it was because they were women. But I know guys who get the same, so I really now think it's based on what individual personality, not gender. And I have seen women incredibly struggle as the pursuers to get what they want, and have to suffer through a tremendous amount of standard rejection, ghosting, gaslighting, etc. And that doesn't even include the danger of encountering harassment and coercion. The idea that men are just completely easy and ready to go for any cute girl who wants them is just total. Story 5. It's more nuanced than that though. If you just look at the unfiltered total number of homicides, that includes all kinds of homicide for all reasons. I doubt he was walking alone at night and some random stranger decided to attack him is a major category. When I hear about men getting murdered, it's usually by someone they know who targeted them because of some bad blood, or it's gang-related, or jealousy, or two people got in a fight and one ended up dead. So although a lot of men end up murdered, as long as I'm not in any of those situations, I walk alone pretty unbothered. Because men seem to get killed by people they know, and I don't know anyone who wants me dead. I could pass a dangerous murderer thug assaulter on the sidewalk at night and we'd probably just avoid eye contact and I'd never know. But for women, there's the possibility some random person they don't know will see them walking alone and just want to assault them just because they like the look of her. It's rare, but it happens. And that's why I understand when they feel scared about it. Story 6. The social benefits that come with being a woman. At the start of 2021, I moved in with 3 extremely attractive women. I myself am a below average looking dude. When I go out to bars or clubs with them, I am consistently blown away by the special attention they receive. How little money it costs them for a fun night out compared to me, along with a million other little benefits. We'll be out at a bar, and one of them will say, "I'll be right back, gonna flirt to get us some drinks," and she'll leave for 5 minutes then come back with a beer for me. The amount of $300 music festival tickets they've received for free is crazy, along with the limitless free ticket upgrades to whatever the premier ticket is. I'm not complaining though, since I've been going out with them I've easily had the VIP treatment for the genre of music I love. Plus I get to meet all the DJs on the drive home before they frick one of the roommates. Hello, the editor here. That last story was too cool. Like and subscribe for more. Story 7. And not too sure. I kinda like being a man honestly. The only thing I'd say is that, on average, women are generally more attractive and thus get more attention. It's nice to feel wanted. I feel like a lot of guys, especially young guys, are just invisible, treated as disposable by society. I definitely don't mean to generalize though. I get there's a lot of women out there who probably feel that way as well. I also realize that being more attractive can be a double-edged sword. As much as I envy the attention some women get, I don't at all envy having to deal with a bunch of creeps who only want to do it all day. I also don't envy not feeling safe walking alone at night. Story 8. Not having the expectation to do the pursuing. Yes, I know it's 2022 and people can do what they want. But, more often than not, the women I find attractive are the type that won't directly ask a man out. I don't mind being the chaser. It can be pretty fun. And both roles have their pros and cons. But I think it'd be nice to have people I find attractive actually approach me instead of hinting that they want me to approach them. Even just a week of that would probably send my self-image through the roof for the rest of my life. I know because I've had the good fortune of having 2 attractive women directly ask me out on a date in my life. It's been years since I've seen either of them, but I'll never forget them. It meant that much. Story 9. Always viewed as innocent, not at fault, and is always believed. Girl leaves relationship. The guy is at fault, and the girl is told you did the right thing. If the guy leaves, then he is told you should try to work things out. And the girl is consoled and told maybe it's for the best. If a guy is being harassed by a girl, then nobody believes him or is told to ignore it. Girl being harassed by a guy, then everyone believes her and told to involve police or something like that. Girls have the advantage in dating, especially in online dating. Story 10. How supportive female spaces are. I feel like a group of women when they're together are just like doing constant checkups and emotional support. Just asking how every relationship is going. Hyping each other up, talking about wellness and emotions. Constant probing questions. Talking about health. Encouraging expressing feelings even if they're illogical. Almost like group therapy-like environment. I feel like when you're with a group of dudes and you try and express something or talk about stuff, you have to force the conversation there. And then it's like that sucks dude and then topic changes. I find a lot of dudes are pretty good one-on-one. But as soon as it's a group, it's like we are all so guarded. Story 11. I don't know if this is true, but I can't help but believe that clits can provide a more powerful and substantial sensation of pleasure than anything the penis can give, even when the prostate gets involved. They just seem more intense, last longer, etc. It's like that Adam Conover stand-up bit that people use to pass around. The guy's orgasm is short and predictable, and the girl's is like she's seeing the face of God. This is of course offset by the fact that women have to deal with many societal, psychological, and physical barriers that make coming harder. But that's another conversation. Story 12. I recognize that this comes with its own set of serious problems and can go too far. But I envy how desired women are and how easy it is for them to garner interest from others. As a normal plus-looking guy who is reasonably smart and nice, I got used to feeling invisible, even sort of aversive. I'd love to be able to wink at a gal or wear a certain shirt or just, exist, and be desired. Don't women get like 10x the responses on dating apps than do men? Again, I know catcalling and harassment and assault are a thing. Just saying that guys and gals seem to have opposite problems. Girls get more attention than they generally want and guys would love to have some of it. Story 13. Women are not expected to do physical work. In my training time, I had to go to the warehouse and lift mattresses and do other similar work. They didn't care how physical capable I was. I choose the office job for a reason. Girls that learned the same job didn't have to do this stuff. I mean, the experience was nice. You appreciate the work a lot of people do more. But even girls can lift stuff. Story 14. Toys. Seriously, men get to have their way with various forms of tubes, basically. Just shove it in here, mate. Feels real. Women get magic wands with dragon tongues and fairy fingers that gently massage their 600 internal nerve endings individually. Each stroke perfectly tailored to the proximity to the G-spot. They experience things way beyond anything any human can ever do to them. Meanwhile, some neckbeard is putting his rooster in a human-shaped air mattress because that's what's available. Story 15. To decide whether you do it or not. Of course I mean consensual intercourse. I would estimate men get intercourse about 10% of the time they try to engage their better half. Women's average is 100%. Men cannot risk to say no even once without risking the opportunity to ever do it again with their loved ones. If you as a man say no a single time, it is going to be a lonely winter and pleasure lies in your own hand. Women, on the other hand, don't risk anything as men are desperate. The woman says no, and literally 1 minute later, yes, all the man's pain and dignity is thrown overboard for those 2 minutes of pleasure with your better half. Men pay for intercourse, they lie for it, they kill for it, and finally die for intercourse, and still they don't get it whenever they want. Story 16. Women have it easier when it comes to social life. Women are the desired gender, the gender that is chaste, taken care for, and admired. The gender that can make mistakes, the gender that is considered human. Men are seen as nothing but workers. They're expected to be drones that work around the clock to provide, and if they show a hint of humanity, they are called beta males. Only children, women, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved under the condition that they work without complaining. Story 17. Started to type a reason and then realized that I've got a damn list. Their clothes have pockets. There's not as much societal pressure to look perfect. There aren't as many labels and names given to them. If they take charge of situations, they're not bossy, they're a boss. They're opinionated. I think you guys got where I'm going there. And my biggest thing, they're not criticized for having stupid high body counts, which, side note, at some point, male or female, it's disgusting. If you lose track of how many there have been, chances are it's too much. Story 18. The fact that women traditionally will have suitors come to them and, in general, don't have to do nearly as much as guys do when it comes to getting those first dates. But at the same time will probably have a higher chance of success than guys of the same general level of attractiveness. Personality do if they do decide to take the initiative. Whereas with men, our choice is to shoot our shot over and over and over again or be alone. Now, of course, this comes with its own set of problems. For example, I don't think a guy has ever been killed for turning down a gal's offer to go get drinks. But the point stands, and I think can be objectively proven via metrics in dating apps. Story 19. Not crying when angry and summarily having your emotions dismissed as overly emotional, or hysterical, or not serious, or hormonal. Like, I'm mad, and sometimes I can't help crying when I'm mad, even though I try really hard not to so my feelings don't get discounted. It doesn't mean my emotion is any less valid or any less real. It's dismissive and condescending. Also, having pain taken more seriously when at the doctor's, especially with male doctors, instead of people just assuming you're weak and have a low pain tolerance, and that you're making a bigger deal of it than it actually is. And finally, I find it kind of sucks that we're expected to relate to male heroes and protagonists, yet boys, men are not expected to empathize with protagonists and heroes that are girls, women, or imagine what it'd be like. There seems to be zero effort sometimes. I find it easy to empathize and take interest in male leads and stories, even imagining being the guy. But I rarely hear about guys doing the same for women.